Welcome to the Wisdom Bar. Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey!
hey, hey. What's
What's
going
going on,
on?
everybody? Look, I don't know what kind of week you had, but celebrate the fact that you made it through. It is Saturday. The week is over. You got time. You get a little bit of time to kick up your feet, enjoy life, and just take your game face off and put it aside for a while until Monday, at least.
2 days off. That's it. Back to work again, right?
Yes, sir. Well, check it. You guys are here, and you know who we are by now. We've done this. This is the fourth episode. But see, if you don't know, this is your first time tuning us in. This is the Wisdom Bar. I am John Colbert with my beautiful and vibrant co-host Tamika Joy,
Hello.
and
Hello.
this is all about what? Information, entertainment, educating you, and most of all, inspiring you with knowledge and wisdom. That's what we're about. That's what we do here, and that's all we ever gonna do. As I always said, it's not about who's right and who's wrong. We share ideas, we share philosophy, we share wisdom.
Right.
And even not only between the two of us, we also allow our guests on the show to do the same thing as well.
That's right. That's right. And John, as I was thinking, I have um recently, I applaud everyone. I think everyone should actually write their own story,
Mm-hmm.
their own journey, and really, write their story, write a book. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been coming across a lot of individuals that are writing their books, and I've been supporting. So I ran into this beautiful young lady yesterday, and she was selling her book. She actually hasn't fully hasn't did a release yet for as
Mm-hmm.
her book release.
Uh-huh.
And so I purchased it. I had to sing yesterday and she came by. And so I wanted to just kind of take a moment to kind of my 3 top reads, because I've been reading like crazy on, great books. So this
Go
is
right
a
ahead.
book, Truth is Stranger Than Fiction, and usually a lot more colorful. So,
Whoa.
yeah,
Okay.
she told a little bit about the story. Shirley A. Stewart Tibbs is her name. It was she definitely shed light on a lot of things when it comes to your truth, and I was telling her in regards to our truth and the things that we may feel shamed about, or we may want, fear about not really being honest with ourselves or other
Mm-hmm.
individuals. Once we've kind of really overcame that and really faced that, then the colors do get colorful, because you get to live, because it's so dark because you're living in fear or living behind a lie of things. So I just loved it. I loved it. My sister, D'Amico Miko Kelly, love is not pain. This is the right here. She always is talking about shame, shame and being shameful, and well, facing your shame,
Mm-hmm.
and all the stuff that she has overcame and just living. And she actually has a new book coming up. So before you get this new book, this one right here, I'm telling you, it's love. And then of course and it's crazy. I was just talking with my girl Libra before we bring her to the stage. Go go DC, go go. 10 years backstage, Chip Pie, my brother, did a book on go go. So if y'all have not gotten these books yet,
Whoa, stop. You talking about Chip Powell
yeah,
from
Chip
Howard?
Pie. Hmm?
From Howard?
Yeah, Chip Pie. Pie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna tell you why I know that. I'm surprised. I'll tell you why I know that name. Chip Powell it used to be you used to be the band director at
Oh yeah,
my
no.
alma mater.
No,
Which
that's not Chip
okay,
Pop. No, yeah, but
okay,
yeah, yeah,
different. Okay, And what
Yeah.
was he? And what does he focus on?
Chip does a lot of
Uh
photography
huh.
and he does a lot and when it comes to the go-go. He's
Okay.
behind
Ooh.
the scenes and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But yeah, if you guys just those three books, I think those like my three top favorites for
All
the week.
right.
This microphone is really getting on my nerves
Yeah.
here. I'm like about to put it in the corner. I'm trying to get it away from this other part so they can really stop making all this noise, but I still wanted to hear me.
Right.
So I tell you, it's always a struggle. So yeah, how was your week?
Actually, my week was pretty great.
Good.
I had a good. I actually had a chance to DJ a baby shower this
Mm,
past this past Sunday,
okay.
and we were all reflecting on what we how we came up as kids at this baby shower
Mm,
because I'm looking at it like my the baby shower was for um the cousins was for a cousin of mine, and he's actually I believe he's the oldest son of one of my first cousins.
okay.
And we're there, we're like, oh my God, it's like, okay, w- you were born. It's like, wait, what happened?
I
You were born
know.
yesterday, and now you're about to be a daddy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's all the way around. It's all that's how I feel about being a grandma. Like, hold up, wait a minute. I just had kids.
and
You
we
know, so
and
absolutely.
we're all looking at him like, where did the time go?
Hmm. Hmm.
And we just when we sit back and think about it, we're like, you know what? Our parents and grandparents probably said the same thing
Yeah.
about us.
Yep. Yep.
when did
Absolutely.
you when did you all grow?
Yes, indeed.
But
Yes, indeed.
it was a good time to be had by all,
Good.
and it was just a good time to be with families and friends and see the legacy again, the legacy of what our grandparents instilled in us, and
Mm-hmm.
even now, and now that we're almost a quarter of the way through the 21st century,
Mm,
we're still hanging together as a family.
that's good.
we're still we're still praying for each other. We're
So
still
good.
getting together every chance we can,
That's good.
and the love is still there, just as strong as it ever was way back when we were coming up as kids.
That's good. Some good stuff. Because I mean, I tell you that everyone, a lot of people have gone astray. You know, when it comes to family, the people that kept the family together have gone on,
Hmm.
and no one has picked up
Nobody's picked up
the
the
torch.
baton.
Or yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I've
It,
seen that happen
yeah.
so many times.
Mm-hmm. And they say, you know what? I ain't got to deal with them no more. Such and such is gone now, so they rather not. You know,
Hmm.
I see it so often, even in my own family. I can't even, act like it doesn't exist in my own family. So yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, we got a great show today. You want to tell the people what we gonna do today? Who we talking to
All
today? What we
right,
doing?
yeah. What we going? All right, y'all. In the beginning of the month, we had a show that dealt with Black Women History Month. And being it is to the end of the month, we're going to end it the same way. However, we're going to do something a little different this time around. Not only are we going to focus on the topic of Black women in history, we're also going to revisit the topic of disabilities. All right. But we're going to talk about Black women who have disabilities and are also entrepreneurs. Yes, sir. I said entrepreneurs. So yes, we have women on this show who have this who have various disabilities, but yet they are living the life they want, and they are doing their thing, making their money. So
It's your turn this time. It got me earlier. Now it's your turn. So I mean, this is what it is when it comes to being
Yep.
live. And you
Yep.
don't turn your phones off. Look, that was a reminder to turn mine down. Like
Only thing worse than that is your phone blasting out some go-go when you in church. Pastor say amen. Your phone go in taking out red essence. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we got two very dynamic women that we're going to
Even okay. It's a okay. I don't know what happened with you guys, but it just automatically went somewhere. But we live. All
all
right,
right.
so here go the ladies. Let's bring them in.
Yep.
Hey,
Ladies,
ladies.
Hey, how
Hello.
y'all doing?
How are
how are you?
you?
How are both of you?
Good.
I'm
All
fine.
right. All right, y'all. As I said, we got two dynamic ladies on here. We have Libra Robinson from Washington, D.C., and we have LaSheena, Tennessee. From where you from, LaSheena? I still can't
Dinwiddie,
pronounce it.
Virginia.
All right. So we got the South and the not so South on here.
Yes.
All right, Libra, we're going to start with you. I understand that you are the CEO of Insights, and you want to tell the people what that is?
Okay, thank you, and thank you so much for having me on today. So, as Mr. Colbert said, my name is Libra Robinson, and I am the CEO and owner of Insight VIP Services for the blind and visually impaired. And what we do is we provide technology training for blind and visually impaired persons through some of our programs, such as the JAWS 101 program, in which we teach blind and visually impaired people how to use their computers. And for people who do not know what JAWS is a screen reading software that is downloaded on a computer to allow blind and visually impaired people to use their computers. We also have what is called a smartphone boot camp, which we teach blind and visually impaired people how to use their smartphone, whether it's the iPhone or Android devices. Um, Also, with Insight, we have our online store, which is called Insight Aids and Products, and which you can go online and order things that will make a person that is visually impaired, blind, or seniors life a little better with independent items that'll make their life easier as they um, live within society or within their homes, things of that nature. So that is what I do. I provide these services through different agencies in the metropolitan area, such as the DC Center for Independent Living, Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind, and I also teach to people who want to pay out of pocket. I've talked to people from South Carolina. I've talked to people from New York, New Jersey, things of that nature. So basically, what we do at Insight is just try to make blind and visually impaired people's lives easier and be able to use their technology devices the same as our sighted peers.
Awesome,
I
awesome.
love that.
I'm going to mess with Tamika a little bit because while we was setting, while we
How ironic.
while we was setting up, I was using my laptop and I had Jaws on, and Tamika says, "John, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure."
Mhm.
She said, why is it that most people who use the screen reader software have it talking so fast? And I explained to her, and basically it's because, we some of us have to ascertain so much information in such a short span of time that we have used it so much that we become able to decipher what
Mhm.
it's saying at such a rapid rate of speed.
Mhm.
But I also explained to her now it didn't start that way
Mm-mm.
because because most of us, we when we first started using any kind of assistant technology software, it was very slow.
Mhm.
But over the period of time, we become more adept at using it,
Mhm.
and we feel that we can speed up the rate of speed
Mhm.
um, more and more. And I told her, I said, if you think my computer talks fast, you need to hear some of the other people who's way faster than me. And
Mhm.
I'm like, whoa, did you really understand what it was saying? And they go, yeah. And I'm like, I don't ever think I could get at that rate. I mean, I'm like, what? Probably like about maybe. I mean, my phone now is like at about 60 words per minute.
Mhm.
But I've heard people's phone go like 75, 80 words per minute.
Mhm. Mhm. That's true.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was definitely. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. You know what? Is
Mhm.
that? I mean, why does that? And so I guess I really didn't. I don't think I've heard anyone or weren't that had it where it was slow. Everybody that I usually hear usually it's at a rapid pace.
Oh, trust me, I have. I have.
Yeah.
I have. I've been around some people. They had this speech going so slow. Like, you know what? By the time your computer finishes one sentence, I'll be asleep. I'm like, could you speed that up just a little?
You trying to speed them up? It's definitely something definitely interesting to
Yeah.
just information, and I think that's what I definitely wanted to just have this platform
Yes.
so that we can combine worlds because society has been so great at separating us.
Yes.
And so, learning how, everyone lives is just valuable to each other so that we can be a resource to one another.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All
Mhm.
right. Well, we're gonna shine the spotlight on the other young lady for a little bit, Miss LaSheena, Tennessee.
How y'all doing?
All right. All right. You want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself as well? You want to share your story?
Sure. I'm LaSheena, Tennessee, and I have a clothing brand that's called Sub-10 Survivors Under Pressure. We revolutionize and adaptive clothing to make our daily routine easier. Our design features a strategic zipper between the legs, ensuring you can use the bathroom with dignity and ease. So say goodbye to awkward moments and hello to comfort and independency.
Uh,
As life throws pressure our way, we're going to emerge as survivors because that's the true essence of Sub-10 Survivors Under Pressure.
Hmm.
all
I
right.
love it. I love
Love it.
it.
Well, one of the questions I want to ask both of you and is in Libra. I hold on for it. Libra, I got to put you on the spot for a second because I
Mm.
still remember something that you said last year that just really blew my mind. And and reading your bio, I believe you said that you started to experience vision loss at the age of 18.
Yes.
Okay, when you were sharing your story, this had to be about a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
I clearly remember you saying that you had you didn't face it for quite some time, and you you say quote unquote I faked it for 12 years. Like, excuse me for being. How the heck did you pull that off for that long?
I would say to you is well, first of all, I did lose my vision. Started experiencing vision loss at 18. Once I had been diagnosed with my illness, which is pseudotumor cerebri, which is
Hmm.
meaning the first word pseudo, meaning fake tumor, cerebri, meaning cerebral fluids, which pressed on my optic nerve, right? So
Hmm.
it happened so gradually, I really didn't know. But when I was diagnosed with it, I went through surgeries and everything. I never forget, I went in on May 17th and I came out June the 29th. And when I say
Hmm.
I came out and they sent me home, right?
Hmm.
So I didn't
Oh,
know anything about Columbia Lighthouse. I didn't know anything about White Cane, didn't know anything. You just go home. And because I wasn't totally blind, I could see some things. I would just
hmm.
Libra just couldn't see too well anymore, right? So every
Right.
time I would go somewhere, I would be with somebody, and I would pretend like I could see things. I share the
Hmm.
story all the time of how many times that I walk into the McDonald's and kick that caution wet floor sign and blame the sign. It's just like I pretended, I faked it. Because you don't I didn't. I ain't gonna say you. I didn't know um any better, right? So I just fake it. I
Right.
got to see sometimes. I used to be in the club having a good time, like, where's the table? And then I find somebody, oh, walk me to the table, because I didn't know that there was a place for me, you know,
Hmm.
because I wasn't blind and I couldn't see. I was in that little funky middle, that little weird middle, right? So I
Hmm.
faked it. I pretended like I could see some things, and that's what I did until I found out in 2010. Now, remind you, this was 1992 when I lost my vision. Well, I
Hmm.
experienced vision loss, and I really didn't get any experience or help until 2011. And I think I didn't want it. I didn't want to even admit that I couldn't see stuff. So it was also a denial thing as well. So
Yes.
that's how I faked it. I denied it. I pretended, and I just didn't think about it. I just lived every day and kept it moving. So that's how I faked it. I faked it. When you fake it, you fake it. But what I found out later on was after I admitted to all my friends, my family knew that, I just want to let y'all know I just went through this class at Columbia Lighthouse, and I just want to break it down to y'all that um I'm visually impaired. They all said, we already know. we all
They was like, we waiting for you to come in and tell
So
us.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I was faking my own self out, pretending that
Right,
I could
Right.
see. I could
Right.
see. I couldn't see what I thought I could see. See, so it was just like that was such
So,
a such
so basically, your family already knew. They were waiting for you to come around the corner.
for me to what is the word, acknowledge it within myself.
right,
Right.
right.
Okay.
They didn't want to make me feel no kind of way. My friends, and I'm like, y'all already knew. They be like, Libra, come on now, we can see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they never led on that I was not fooling everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Isn't
so
that a lovely blessing in a
It's
sense?
a
yeah,
beautiful.
yes,
It's
yes,
a beautiful
yes.
blessing.
Mm,
Yes.
mm,
So,
mm.
LaSheena, what are some of the challenges you have encountered and overcome in your coping with your particular disability? If you don't mind sharing that with us.
Well, I got in a car accident 6 years ago, and that caused me to be paralyzed from the chest down.
Mm-hmm.
So every time after I got out the hospital, it's like every time I went out in public, I was embarrassed and afraid to ask people to help me use the bathroom. So I just prayed to God and asked him, what was my purpose that you kept me here? And he gave me this vision to not only help myself, but people in my situation too. And that was to actually place a zipper between the legs of my pants so that my daily life could become easier and I can experience more stuff and be more independent within myself and just be out here in life just like I was when I was walking.
Mm-hmm.
What age was it that when did this occur?
I was 31.
31. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Did
All
you
right.
have any type of similar, cases when as Libra when it
Um,
came to friends and family and things of that
Yes, I
nature?
guess. I guess. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. What was the one of the things that I think all of us come to realize in coping with our disability is it makes a great deal of difference when you have that support team in place from your family. I definitely had it from mine, and I tell people all the time I was definitely not sheltered. Um, my mother was harder on me. I felt my mother was harder on me than she was either one of my older sisters. And I guess in her own way, she felt she had to be because she knew she was going to be raising a son with a disability, a son who's going to eventually go out in this world, who needed to have a certain level of confidence in himself. And I have seen what happened, being when I got out there in the world and I encountered other people with disabilities. I have seen what happens when the parents coddle them, babyfy them, act like they act, treat them like they basket cases and they can't do anything for themselves. And a lot of them can be out of here at 25, 30 years old and not half as functional as they could be. And those are the ones that you really have to struggle with. You really have to push them because they're in this mindset. Well, how can I do this? How can I do that? I can't do this because of this. I can't do this because of that. I can't, I can't, I can't.
Mm.
And I was never taught to believe that. I was never taught that. The only thing my family ever taught me was the only thing that you can't do is see, and the only thing that you can't do because of that is operate a motor vehicle.
Wow. Wow.
you know, I even had someone to tell me one time that they were surprised when I told them that I know blind people who own motor vehicles, and they go, "Wait a minute, what you mean they own motor vehicles? They can't see, they can't drive." And I had to explain to them, "Hey, wait a minute, stop. That's not what the law says. The law says that if you have a visual impairment, you can't operate a motor vehicle. But it does not say that you can't own one. Because in this country, think about it, we live in a capitalist society. You can own anything you want as long as you can afford to pay for it."
Right. Libra,
Yes.
I wanted to just make sure. Okay, LaSheena's having some problems hearing us. I just wanted to make sure that you could hear us. Um, I'm gonna tell her so she's gonna leave real quick and then come back.
Okay.
Because she can't. I saw her video go out. Um, so yeah, she's gonna just leave out and real quick and then she'll
All
come
right.
back. So she can hear us. I'm sorry, you can continue on. I just want.
So what I was going to ask you both was how was the support level from your family in helping you cope with with the emergencies of your disability, and how did they help you, like you said, acknowledge it within yourself and face it and understand that your life is not over because of this?
LaSheena, can you hear us now?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Can you repeat the question, John? She just
Certainly,
shut back off.
certainly. All right. The question I was asking you ladies is, how was your family supportive in helping you deal with and cope with your disability?
Well, in my case, it was really my mom. She did everything she could to understand because it was a life challenge and changing that I was always the one that did everything and helped everybody. So this time I needed help on my end and
Hmm.
to actually have her there every day at the hospital and even when I got out to be with me and instill in me that not to give up. That was like the best thing that my mom could ever do for me. Like, so I thank God for her.
Mhm.
I see.
That's
All right.
beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Latina, I wanted to ask you, what was one? I asked you both.
Mhm.
What was your inspiration in starting your business? What gave you the idea that, hey, this is something I could do? It is something that's needed. I'm going to get out here and make it happen.
Well, in my case, um, like I said, what the biggest issue was, like I said, going out in public and have
Uh
to
huh.
have, help doing everything, especially trying to use the bathroom. Um, it was God. That's all I can say. God instilled, and I was so depressed that he was the only person I could turn to and ask, like, what is my purpose? And like I said, anybody that's going through something and you don't know your purpose, just keep asking God. He will definitely enlighten you and show you what's the reason why you're here. And I thank God that He actually gave me that vision to still, like, not only help myself but other people in my situation.
Mhm.
Absolutely. That's something I can definitely attest to. Um, Libra, your turn.
Libra, you still on mute, love. You still on mute. You wanna ask us a
Okay, I have
question.
it.
You have it?
Okay.
All right.
Yep, there we go. Okay, so I would say for me, it was when I finally went through training through the Rehabilitation Services Administration. I learned how to use the computer, right?
Hmm.
And look, I never even used a computer when I could see, so this was very fascinating to me. And then when I joined the National Federation of the Blind, I told everybody, I was like, you can use your computer, you can do this, and they didn't know about it. So I
Hmm.
just started showing people how to do it. I created a little program where we could. It was this place called Project Reboot, and I went to our
Yep.
president like, could we start getting those computers? He said, yes, start the program, and it was called Project Reboot program. And I got everybody computers, and everybody got computers, and then they said we don't know what to do with them. So I started showing people little by little, just because. And someone could approach me and say, you can create a business off of that. Like, I don't want to charge people how to do stuff that they should, be able to, have to, do and
Mhm.
need. And once I found that it was a need for it, I think the business aspect was one thing, but it was just what made me start it is because it was a need of it, and it was a lack of people to provide it. in our community. You know,
Amen.
people didn't even know that they could use computer. People didn't know about JAWS. People, and these were resources that I was finding out about. So, as John Colbert would tell you, anything good that I find out about, I spread it. Good, I spread it. Yes,
Good.
yes.
Good for
So
you.
that's how it started. And then I learned how to use my smartphone. People where I was seeing people hand their smartphone over to their aide or their friend and family. And my thought was, you can't hand them the bill. So why are you handing them the smartphone? So I start teaching them that. And then I learned a little intermediate braille, and then I taught people that. And all of this at first was just for free or just because. So I think that's where it really started, when I saw a need in my community for it. And I knew I learned it. I didn't know it, I learned it. But everybody wasn't able to be privy to those resources. So that's what made me start it. Just the love of my blindness community, and wanted to make sure that they all had a equal chance to do the same things that everybody else can do. And why not be a person that's in that situation to be able to teach the person, right? So
Amen.
that's why I started it. My love of my community.
Amen. Amen. I love it.
And I think I can definitely commend the both of you. And coming from someone who went through the DC public school system through the 70s and the 80s, they were definitely lacking in some of the things that we needed
Mm-hmm.
going forward from adulthood on. Because actually, it was, you mentioned the Columbia Lighthouse, Libra, and actually, that's how I learned computer skills through them.
Mm-hmm.
When I came out of high school in '86, computers were just being introduced into DC public schools at that time, and you were lucky if there was probably one computer throughout the entire school. I mean, at that time, we had what about 2,500 students enrolled, and we just had two computers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not even going to talk about assistive technology.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was unheard of in 1986. So it wasn't until I, got hooked up with the Columbia Lighthouse of the Blind, and it actually, that was my first job out of high school, and that's where I got my first chance to learn computers through a couple of machines that were donated to them from from the Hadley School for the Blind and from out of Illinois. And and that was back in the day. I'm going to tell my age. That was back in the day where MS DOS was the big boy on the block. Nobody was even talking about Windows at that time.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Wow. Yeah.
So I guess so. LaSheena, I'd like to ask you, what are there any organizations that you are associated with in the fair city that you live in, and how is it help you, and how do you have you find ways to get back to your community in any kind of way?
Not right at this point, but I am interested in joining Sportable. It's a wheelchair uh, sports event. So they help you play any kind of sports that you would like. I actually
Wow.
attended wheelchair basketball 2 weeks ago. They had the
Hmm.
kids playing one weekend, and the weekend after they had the adults playing. And I played basketball myself when I was walking, so to actually
Uh-huh.
see everybody playing basketball in the wheelchair, that really inspired me, and it got
Yeah.
me um, to the point like I went out and talked to everybody and shared my brand with them, and a lot
Hmm.
of them said that they never heard of anything and they could actually benefit from it too. So I just thank God for actually letting me experience that and to the point that I am going to get in contact with them so that I can help them change their lives and they could do the same thing for me.
Yeah, man,
Beautiful.
that is amazing. That is
Yes. I
amazing.
hope that works out. And I hope that you do join that team. That would be
Yes,
awesome.
yes. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, ladies, I'm gonna leave the. I basically ran out of questions, but I'm gonna leave the floor open to you guys. Any nuggets of wisdom that you want to share with our audience? Anything that you have learned over the years?
Sure. My thing is, regardless of what happens to you or any battles or struggles that you go through, keep on going and keep fighting and always put God first. My grandma, she recently passed away um this Sunday, but she always instilled in me. She was 101 and always instilled in me to keep God first and stay positive regardless of what your day might be going. Always try to put a smile on your face to help somebody else smile and just inspire and keep motivating other people because they see it in you, they will probably do the same.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely. And that's what kept her 101.
Yes, yes,
Yes. Yes. That attitude goes so far.
Yes.
People don't understand, when you running around here stressed and hateful, or, just worried about this and all those different things wear you out. They wear
yes.
you out.
So many people have
So
it
my
worse than
heart,
you do.
yeah, my prayers are with your family, because I know that's a
Thank
big
you.
legacy, a big, matriarch of your family that has now, gone, and in the flesh, not in the spirit. So you
Amen.
guys just got to keep her going and keep her legacy alive
Like
by,
say alive.
doing certain things that she loved to do, and keeping her spirit going.
Amen.
You
Yeah.
know, my grandmother passed away in I think it was 2012, 2013 at the age of 96 or 95.
Hmm.
And still to this day, every time we have a family reunion, we commemorate her
Mm.
because this is the matriarch of the family instilled in us what a family should be, taught us that
Amen.
she always believed that a family that prays together stays together.
That is right.
And that legacy still lasts even till this day. Even now, we're in a generation where if she was still alive, she would have she would have a generation of probably what great grandkids.
Hmm.
But we recognize her every year, and by having a family reunion close to her birthday, September the 30th, and we just love what her and Andrew Joseph Bonds instilled in us, and we know they're up in heaven, smiling down on us.
Hmm.
Yes,
And say,
Lord.
look at what we did.
Yes,
Yes, Lord.
that's what life
But
is
I'll
about.
say for my nugget is don't underestimate people based on what you see.
Amen.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
just really listen to people like Miss Tennessee is brilliant to me. Like the
Hmm.
technology that I teach is already there. The computer has been made. The phone has been made. I just learn it and teach it. But listen to what she has created. That is brilliant.
Thank
Right?
you. I appreciate it. I
Yes,
really
ma'am.
appreciate it.
That is brilliant. And I'm just like when I'm listening, and it makes me just my nugget is don't underestimate people based on what you see, what you
Yes.
Hmm.
think. they can or can't do based on what you see.
Mhm.
Listen to people and their thoughts. I mean, I gotta say it one more time. That is brilliant. I'm
Thank
just like,
you.
yes, ma'am. And I hope that I can connect with you just to hear more about it in myself because we have a lot of blind uh and people visually impaired people that are in wheelchairs as well. You see,
Yes.
there are always dual disabilities, right?
Mhm.
So yes. So that is my nugget. Don't underestimate people based on what you see. Really listen and listen with your mind, your heart, and your spirit.
Yeah.
And I want to say, my clothing is not just for people in wheelchairs. Um, Truck drivers can use it if you in public. I mean, I'm sorry, in traffic, and you have to use the bathroom. You can just unzip your pants and then you can just go in a bottle or something like that. Or females, when we go to the gynecologist and we actually have to take off everything, you can just unzip and then that way you won't have to do as much, and then you make the time go by really fast.
That's why I
Absolutely.
thought it was
Yeah.
so
Good
brilliant. I was
boy.
thinking
Yeah.
about the
Good
club,
boy.
the park, camping. I was like, she
Right.
got a brilliant idea.
Everything, all kinds, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I know.
Wow.
I was when I was amazed when I met her. I was like, oh, I got to support you, and I got
Yes.
to give you a platform to shine. So,
Yes.
yes, I appreciate both of you guys being on this, today, and sharing your gifts and applauding you and letting God use you,
Use you in
Yes.
such a
because a lot of
yes.
us, when things happen and lives, and like you said, we either shut away from those things. We
Hmm.
don't want to acknowledge the fact that we're going through certain stuff. We try to
Yes.
ignore it, but if we pay attention and we really trust in him, he
You
will
know.
use you
Yes.
in the capacity that he made you for.
And then
That's
going
it.
through those things, and then going through those things. Not only do we sometimes deny it and choose not to acknowledge it. Sometimes and I even had this myself dealing with kidney failure. We acknowledge it, and then we sometimes go through that depression moment. I know
Hmm.
I've talked to
Hmm.
Yes,
many
Lord.
people, Ron and
Hmm.
Libra, and I'm sure LaSheena has gone through it, where
And
Yes.
you've
me.
gone, you absolutely, you've gone through that moment of depression, and you question your purpose for being here.
Mhm.
You
Hmm.
know, I'm not afraid to say some. When I was going through those moments, I'm like, I even wish God would just let me go to sleep and not wake up.
Amen. Yes, I did the
You
same thing.
know.
Like I contemplated suicide a lot when I
Mhm.
was depressed. But like I
Mhm.
said, if it weren't for my grandmas, both of them, and keep telling me just keep God first and keep praying,
That's
I wouldn't have
right.
made it myself.
You know. Yes.
Mhm.
You know.
They
I
say
even.
there are them 5 steps when you just experience a disability. First, it might be anger,
Hmm.
then denial, or the
Yes.
first denial, then anger, depression. No,
Mm-hmm.
so first denial, anger, then bargaining. Because if you say, God, if you only let me walk or see or whatever, I'll go to church. I'll be nice to Mr. Joseph. I'll do everything that you said you need me to do. You know, so
Right.
Yeah.
you angry. Then after that you get depressed because you
Depressed
see
because
that
it
the
didn't
bargaining with
happen.
God
Yes.
didn't work.
Yeah.
Nothing is going on. But then the last
Mhm.
Right.
beautiful part about it is acceptance.
But
That's
Hmm.
God
When
shows
you
you in His
accept
own
it,
exactly.
unique way.
you are right. Once you
Yep.
That's
accept it,
right.
you are right.
Yes.
He shows you in His own unique way
Mhm.
that you here on this earth because I'm not done with you yet.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
Amen.
know.
right.
And
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
while you're sitting here being depressed
Hmm.
and being angry with me
Hmm.
because this type of thing happened to you,
Hmm.
He says, guess what? I already knew what was going to happen.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I already put in you what you need to overcome this.
Yes.
Hmm.
And another thing, he said, another thing I want you to remember, nobody on this earth is perfect.
That
You got
part.
that right.
So
You got
That
that right.
part.
what makes you think you're supposed to be?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's it.
You said that
That's
right
right.
now.
Those people that you categorize as non-disabled, guess what? They ain't perfect either. They just as
Mm,
jacked up as you are.
right.
That's it. That's right. And more, and really more disabled. I
Mm-hmm.
always tell everybody those that are considered the non-disabled are pretty much disabled because we have not been able to really adjust to those that are considered disabled. You know, but yeah, it is definitely a blessing when you can really walk in your purpose and understand that God has made us all individually,
Yes.
for a purpose, a reason. If
Mm-hmm.
everybody had and looked and did the same thing, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to see
No.
how beautiful He is, how much of a creator He
And
is.
this would be a
Yes.
boring world.
That would be boring.
It'd be a
So
boring
I
world if
tell
that would happen.
everybody all the time. I mean, to sit and watch John become double limb, and he gets in front of his speakers and he's plugging these things up, and he put on his headphones, and then he's going to work, and he's going from song to song, and I'm watching everybody jamming, and most of the time they don't even know he is visually impaired. But
Right.
when I tell them, they lose their mind. But oh, the joy it is to know how good God is and to use Him, and to see that life don't stop. It
Right.
stops when you stop. you
Yep.
know
Man.
so it's just that accepting part is a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but if you just trust Him, things will work out in your favor like never before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And
well,
I want to
ladies,
thank you, Tamika, thank you, John. And it's
thank you.
crazy that last year I met you at Shane's Park doing your go-go thing, and this year you still remembered me. So I want to thank you so much,
Oh,
Tamika.
Well, I told you, I gave you my word, and that's why I try to. I mean, that's all I got.
Yep.
That's all we have
That's
is
all we
our
have is
word.
our word.
So
Yeah.
I thank you for picking up and
Yep.
remembering me.
What
When
do we
I
say in the
when
old
I did.
school? Let your word be your bond.
That's it.
Yes,
That's
Lord.
it.
That still stands. I
That's
don't
what it's
care.
gotta be. Yep. It took us a
Remember
little
that,
bit.
young people. Your word, let your
Yes,
word be your
yes.
bond.
Yeah, because it's important, and look at the blessing that came out of that. That where you were able to actually get your moment to really share, and you don't know how many people will see this and really tap in. So before we leave, we definitely got to get you guys as plugins, your shout outs, who you want to shout out, and then if you have like your phone number or your email or your website or whatever, however the people can get in touch with you, please let us know so that they can continue on and get in contact with you.
okay. Well, for me, anyone that's interested in knowing more about Insight, that is the letter N, SIGHT VIP services, you can go to insightvipservices.com. And you can read all about us as well as go on our online store, Insight Aids and Products. If you personally want to get in contact with me, I do not mind giving out my personal phone number, which is 202 597 3240. And you can ask any questions you may have, um, or any information that you want to know about Insight, or just being inquisitive about what it is like to be a blind or visually impaired person. I just want to thank you, before we leave. I just want to thank you for having this platform and giving us an opportunity to let people know that just because you have a disability, that is not who you are. That's just one characteristic or aspect of who you are. You are still the
Amen.
same
Absolutely.
person. Yes. So thank you
That's
so much.
right. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and for me, you can go to my website. That's sup10 or you can go to survivorsunderpressure.com. You can call me on 804-638-3046. And any questions y'all have, please give me a call. Visit my website or even email me at sup10 survivors. I'm sorry, survivorsunderpressure@gmail.com.
Mm.
All right, ladies. And last but not least, well, no, I am going to go last. Miss Tanika, you want to get yourself in there as well? Come on, promote
well,
yourself.
well, this program is sponsored by Stars. For those that do not know who Stars is, it stands for Shining Through Adversity, Reaching Success.
Mm.
And we give individuals with adversities a platform to shine. So this is what you see, and this is what you're getting. That platform where individuals get that time to really express themselves, share their story. So if that is you, and you want this time to really just um, let people know what you're doing, the great things that you're doing, the complications that you have, and whatever it is that you just want to take a moment out to just share with someone. Let us into your world a little bit. Um, and just let us know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and if you need some resources, we'll be a help and support because that's what Stars do. Not only I'm the founder and president of Stars, and Double M, which is AKA John Colbert, is our DJ for Stars Performing Arts. So we have individuals that deal with autism. We have individuals that deal with learning disabilities. We have individuals that are in the foster care and the homeless shelters. And we give them a platform to shine in the arts, far as music and dance. And so
Mm.
that's what Stars do. You can go to our website, Stars for the Arts, or you can contact 202-899-8992. And what else? On Instagram, it's Official Stars Inc. And on Facebook, we are Stars Performing Arts.
All right. And as it was said before, I am John Colbert, aka DJ Double M. And we know that the weather is warming up.
Mm.
People are going to be ready to party, giving those cookouts, those graduations, those wedding receptions. And you can definitely look me up for my DJ service. You can find me on Facebook at DOUBLE capital M66. Or you can contact me at my Gmail, book.one star, that's the number one, STARDJ at gmail.com.
And
All right.
before we leave,
Ladies,
can I get a shout out to my grandma Rosa G. Love you, baby. You my queen, and rest in peace.
Yes.
we wish you all,
Oh,
LaSheena, Libra, thank you, ladies, for coming on. You've been fantastic. It's been a wonderful show. It's been more than what we definitely expected. You ladies
Thank
are
you.
definitely doing your thing. I applaud you. God bless, and I wish you much success in the
much
future.
success. Yes.
Thank
Black
you.
Women's History Month was not just in one month. We are every month, 365
Amen.
Mm.
baby. They
Mm.
just representing and put it on paper for this month. But we represent every month.
And
I
you
love
ladies
it.
have represented well, I must say.
Yes.
Thank
Thank y'all
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, people. As we know, it is now closing time. So, with that being said, the wisdom bar is closed.
Till next time. See you guys
Peace.
later.